Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam with you once again. Today I saw an article written by Indrani Bagchi, a very famous columnist in the Economic Times, and I wanted to share certain points that holds a lot of relevance as far as the Indian foreign policy is concerned with respect to its relationship with US, UK and the European Union. We're going to talk a lot about what should be the India's policy with China with respect to your free trade agreements, with respect to your Quad, etc., etc. Very important from the civil services main examination point of view. So I'm going to give you some valuable points which you can write in your examination. These are not something new. These are being talked about for many years, but nothing much has been done. I'm talking about Quad. In fact, we have been downplaying Quad for quite some time, and really took one COVID which shook the whole of this country and another Chinese aggression at the border for India to start taking it seriously. So there was a Quad meet attended by the Prime Minister in which Australia, Japan, US and other countries took part. In fact, 2019, because of whatever reason, we did not participate in RCEP. RCEP is a Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. This is a very important topic, especially from the CSE main point of view, IAS main examination. I'll be putting up another video, not to worry on that. Meanwhile, you can check from the internet what RCEP is. India didn't take part in it, but most of the other countries had free trade agreements. Your Australia, China, Japan, South Korea, even New Zealand is included in that RCEP. So they all had free trade agreements, and many Asian countries like your Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan and host of other countries joined this league. Okay. Myanmar, I think host of other countries are also there except India. India was not part of this RCEP. And of course, we had the same narrative in terms of Atmanirbhar, Make in India campaign, and we started being busy on that. Probably that was a great opportunity, but I don't know, because of whatever reason we didn't take part in that. That's a different story altogether. So in the light of all that, what we were discussing, Atmanirbhar, Make in India campaign, etc., this COVID struck us and the whole narrative changed. Now it is extremely important for India to look at United Kingdom relationship in the context of Post Brexit and also its relationship with the United States. Now it is high time for India to put shoulder to the wheel of India-EU relationships. So putting shoulder to the wheel obviously requires lots and lots of efforts from both the sides, but we need to take the lead. In fact, the bilateral trade deals between India and the European Union can throw up too much of investment opportunity. There's a lot to be gained. But we shouldn't be trying to do everything at the same time. Too much too soon strategy may not work, because that might give rise to other complications. First, we need to look at market access to CBMs, and then even before we start discussing about free FTAs, etc., we can start with investor protection deals, and then how do we get away with these international arbitrations. Remember, there are lots and lots of international arbitrations, especially as far as India is concerned. You have heard, you have cases against Kane, and other one which came in the paper, Mitsui Corporation today or yesterday. I will be putting another video on Mitsui Corporation. These things are extremely important, and in your main examination, if you make a mention of these things as far as international arbitrations are concerned, you will get very good marks. Okay. So now coming back to this topic that we were discussing, this UK deal is going to be really advantageous for India, because UK is really opening up its arms for a relationship with India, especially in the post Brexit era with Narendra Modi being the Prime Minister. There are lots and lots of small wins that we need to win, but as far as the European Union is concerned, European Union generally is little more demanding. The reciprocity factor is very, very high as far as the EU is concerned. But of course, every companies will demand, including ours, and that should be there, because unless there is a win-win situation between countries, the relationship cannot sustain for a long time. Therefore, there has to be a good template for relationship with the UK as well as with the European Union. But as far as the Indo-US relationship is concerned, a lot needs to be strengthened at this point of time, and we totally had a different kind of strategy when Trump was in power, and today being Biden being there, we are not very sure in terms of what path we should take, especially as far as the US relationship is concerned. Jaishankar is doing his best in terms of how to carve out that relationship. And there are too many stakeholders in the equation. You have Russia supplying arms and ammunitions. They have been partners with us for too long supplying these. So many factors need to be considered, but at the same time, we need to keep in mind that today's Russia is not the same Russia as it was when it was Soviet Unions, and many countries have gone away. And this Russia seemingly slightly close to China, and we cannot ignore that geopolitical strategy. So we need to be careful, but we leave it to the wisdom of the external minister and the prime minister, but we cannot be oblivious to these things. Therefore, there is a need for us to recalibrate or rethink our strategy as far as the United States is concerned. Now, as far as the Europe is concerned, India, instead of having one single relationship with EU, we always preferred individual ties with France, with Germany, with UK, etc. separately. That sometimes reminds me when in the office, when people used to collect money for gifts for somebody getting married in the office. There are some people who will say, no, please don't count me in this group contribution. I will try to give him something separately, right? Instead of getting into an agreement with EU, we always preferred having separate deals with France, Germany, etc. At a separate level. Remember, with France, we've had lots and lots of deals, defense deals, your Rafale aircrafts, your nuclear deals, etc., etc. Now, the relationship with European Union is also required, because that is how you will be able to make your presence in the whole of Europe. And there are some important factors, right? Like Prime Minister Modi's thrust for clean water, sanitation, smart cities, etc. I think the relationship with European Union can help a lot in pushing your sanitation, clean cities, clean water, etc., etc., technology and the experience that the European Union has. Secondly, climate change is a very important factor. Not just it's being considered throughout the world, so much of importance. Yes, especially after this girl, Greta Thunberg, right? There's a lot of discussion happening on that particular subject around the world, and we have excellent relationship with France in terms of defense deals and other strategic interests, including nuclear energy, etc., etc. For everything, I think France to some extent can replace Russia as a provider of technology to us. If you look at Nordics, whether it's 5G, whether it is artificial intelligence, whether it is semiconductors, we are the ones who, they are the ones who can give us the best of the best services, and we can benefit largely from it. Now, we need to look at where does China come in the whole equation. If you look at the growth of China, go back, turn your pages from the history, right? Your West, your UK, West and US, they were very instrumental in the growth of China. If you go back 15, 20 years from now, and that's what the history says, because in their view, a prosperous China will be much more democratic, and that will be good for the world. That was the premise on the basis of which, they took a lot of actions which actually made China strong. But today, the situation is completely different, and China is seen more as a strategic challenge for all these countries. Look at their border roads initiative. China is extending its doors right from one corner to the other corner, right up to Europe's doors. Right, Europe is literally cut into half as far as this initiative is concerned, and they have issues with Dalai Lama, Uyghurs, your Taiwan, your domination in the South China Sea, their aggression in the Indian border, all of that. In fact, China is becoming such a strong power that it wants to share its lunch with Europe, and it's challenging US in every single possible way. And there is absolutely no doubt that China is extremely strong at this point in time. Now it's important for India to resume the human rights, because these are some of the platforms which will strengthen your relationship with Europe Union, with US, etc. And your relationship with the other countries will help you to deal with China in a much stronger manner. Okay, let's talk about some of the advantages we have as a country. We have a westernized pool of 21st century talent, whether it is mathematics, whether it is IT, every single field you can talk about. We have the best of the best manpower in our country, especially as far as the clean energy is concerned. It's something that European Union and other countries are very proud of. We're planning to make 50 gigawatts of energy maybe in the coming years to come, and the needle is moving in the right direction. And as a member of the Quad, and that too being a strong member of the Quad team, there is a lot for India to gain in this exercise. And just as we missed the bus as far as the RCEP was concerned, I think we should not miss it. We have to use it to our fullest advantage. It's going to be a great strategic opportunity for all of us. So this once again means that we need to act west, but our heart should be in the east. Of course, COVID will be behind us. It's a passing cloud, and we need to look in terms of how we can move this nation towards the 22nd century and become as one of the superpowers with a $5 trillion. Okay, guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again, and thank you very much. Jai Hind.